Welcome back to the channel. I wanted to do a video on games that defined each platform that I've played on over the years, and I wanted to start with the PlayStation 1 because that was when 3D graphics were starting to be pushed, and those old 2D games that I played in the past took on a brand new life in 3D. And the first game that I remember being completely wowed by on the PlayStation 1 was Metal Gear Solid. Now, I'd played Metal Gear on the NES back in the day, and everything was there, Snake, the codec, and the sneaking missions, but playing it in 3D and seeing the PlayStation 1 completely pushed to its theoretical limits was absolutely incredible to me. And that moment that I stepped outside and was hiding, and a guard walked by, noticed my footprints and said, "Whose footprints are these?" I knew that I was playing something completely new, and it blew me away. You know, looking back, I'm thinking about some games that really defined the PlayStation, and it's interesting, most of them at the earliest were third-party games, and Sony's known for their first party, but they really leaned heavily on third parties. They had great relationships. Everyone wanted to work on the PlayStation, and this game, completely and totally above any others, really demonstrated how far games could go in terms of telling a story. I loved the characters and just being in this world, exploring, and the stealth elements were just absolutely amazing. Going from the original Metal Gear to Metal Gear Solid in 3D, those same moves, the stealth, was taken to a whole new level. I was blown away by everything that I could do. Now, of course, looking back, there were some limitations, but thinking about the hardware at the time, there was nothing like this, and Sony and developers working on that system were pushing it, and you had that expectation of things getting better and better and better. Now, again, looking at it now, you're seeing the polygon shift all around. The PlayStation 1 was probably screaming trying to run this game, and that's what I loved about PlayStation at the time. You were getting all these great games that you just never saw before. There was an evolution, and we miss that now when you go from one generation to the next. I mean, this was just absolutely incredible. And what was great about this, it was almost like a film, a movie. I was sitting there and I was watching this story play out, but I was an active participant in it, and I loved everything about Metal Gear Solid on the PlayStation 1. I think this is where that expectation of great things came from, at least for me, when it came to PlayStation, because the excitement around Metal Gear Solid led to all the other games that I was excited about to play on the PlayStation, and the style of games, those third-person action-adventure, story-focused games, and the attention to detail in them is something that I came to expect and I came to want, and I still want that even today when it comes to video games, whether or not it's Xbox or PlayStation. But this game in particular, I remember fondly on the PlayStation 1, and what's really interesting about this game is it led to this expectation that I talked about and this excitement, and it carried me forward, which is something I think that most platform holders want when they have video games. They want you to move from one generation to the next, not just for the system, but for the sequels to games, and they use that to pull you in. And again, interesting that most of the games were third party back in the day because Sony was ramping up their first party, and they had those relationships that allowed them to get these games. And going from Metal Gear Solid on the PlayStation 1, I thought nothing could get any better and the excitement couldn't get any higher. And then Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty on the PlayStation 2, the fabled PlayStation 2, the super system. It was going to kill PC graphics outright. Of course, that was not true, but the excitement around PlayStation 2 and the emotion engine, there was going to be nothing like it. It was going to be the most advanced console game system that you ever had, and it delivered, because nothing, and I mean nothing, in that generation looked like Metal Gear Solid 2. I remember running out and getting Zone of Enders because that game included a demo of Metal Gear Solid 2. Zone of Enders was a pretty good game, another Kojima project, but this game, look at this running on the PlayStation 2. You have to put yourself in that generation. There was nothing like this. nothing came close to the presentation and the gameplay. All of the effects coming together. I just remember being completely blown away by this opening level because it's real time. This is what the game was going to look like on my PlayStation 2. I couldn't believe it. I was used to Metal Gear Solid on the PlayStation 1, that really basic 3D polygon shifting all over the place. At the time, it blew me away, but the evolution between Metal Gear Solid on the PlayStation 1 and Metal Gear Solid 2 on the PlayStation 2, it was unbelievable, the leap that Sony and PlayStation took with not only technology in consoles, but just this one game series in particular. And of course, who can forget that old switcheroo where you play that tanker level as Snake and you think things are going to get better and better from there on in, and then Raiden. You play the rest of the game as Raiden, not Solid Snake, a bit controversial at the time, but again, those graphics and that evolution, and you really had the sense that you were playing something that couldn't be done on any other system at any other time. And that's what was great about not only this series, because it was about pushing technology forward in the console space, but it also pushed gameplay forward and story forward. So not playing as Snake hurt a bit, and I never really got into Raiden, but this game was so big, and I don't remember a time or a game that was ever this anticipated that actually delivered. Metal Gear Solid on the PlayStation 1 and Metal Gear Solid on the PlayStation 2, some of the best gaming memories that I have centered around early PlayStation consoles. Let me know what you think in the comments section below about this series. I miss it. I want it back. This game in particular, I mean, look at this. It still looks great today, and I'm still blown away that they managed to get this level of quality and graphics out of a system in that generation. Unbelievable experience, unbelievable characters and stories. I do miss it. I do want it back. Let me know what you think in the comments section below about this series. There's good old Revolver Ocelot. That's the thing. Some of the characters and the story, just absolutely off the wall. That's what made this so unique. And the setting. It was just such a great time. And it was almost like anything was possible when it came to console video games, and things would get better and better and better. Metal Gear Solid 2: Sons of Liberty. Again, I'd be interested to know what you think about this game in the comments section below. What was your favorite Metal Gear game? Was it Metal Gear on the NES, or was it Metal Gear Solid on the PlayStation 1? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.